All right, we're going to be looking at increasing, decreasing, and constant on a graph. But right now I'm just finishing out typing in the rest of this piecewise equation. And what you're going to notice is on Desmos, we really need to pay attention to using those brackets in our domain restrictions. And there it is, closing out the bracket, and you can see that pop up. I like to take, for my purposes, I like to go ahead and take the 2x, the x minus squared, and 8. I know it is called g of x, but I break them into 3 different functions on Desmos just to make my life easier with calculations later on. But the purpose of today is simple. Let's go ahead and find increasing, decreasing, and constant sections. All right. And one of the first things we need to do or remember is that we read a graph from left all the way over to right. And as we do that, what you're going to notice is we are increasing on this first section of graph. Now with Desmos, as we type things in, it's going to be really important that we focus in on on not only typing everything in correct, but tracing the graph to the ends. And what you'll see is that it says -1 and -2. There is a definite answer on the end of that. So what I'm going to do is on the x-axis, I am going to put a bracket, okay? And that means that it is included, okay? Once I've got that, I'm going to then trace it all the way to the other end. And notice what it says, it's undefined. And then also you'll see that open circle. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, there's an open circle here, okay, and it is undefined. That means not included, okay? And so I know that from here to there, so -1, so it is increasing from -1 all the way to the value of 3. And it is close parentheses because we traced it and found it was not included. Now, we continue working across the graph, okay? And we pick up on this section of the graph right here. Okay, so we pick up on this and we go to there. And you'll notice that this is a decreasing section of graph. Okay, so that is a decreasing section of graph. And what we're going to do is the same thing. We go back and we are going to trace it. Okay, and you'll notice that if we trace it all the way back to the end, there's a definite answer, 3, 1. And we go to the middle and there is a definite answer, 4, 0. So it is decreasing from bracket to bracket. And notice that it is decreasing from bracket 3 on the x all the way to 4 on the x. We continue to work our way across, and you'll notice that the graph begins to go back up. Okay, and so once again, it is increasing. Okay, we've already found out that 4 counts as an answer because we traced it there. But let's go to the end of the increasing section. If I go all the way to the end, it says undefined. And so that tells us, since it's undefined, that answer does not count there. So it is increasing from 4 to the value on the x-axis of 6, and that is going to be a parenthesis. So at 6, it is a parentheses, and between here and here, it is increasing. Now, I am going to put an or statement there because it's increasing at this, or it is between there, okay? And would be at the exact same time, okay? And then what we're going to do is go up to this section here in the green. And what you should notice about that green section is it is laying flat. Okay, it is not increasing nor decreasing. So what we are going to do is we're going to call this constant. Okay, so that is a constant section. And it is constant between here and there. Now, the one thing we need to do is just trace it to find out is it going to be included or not included? So 7, 8 is included, so that is a bracket on the x-axis, okay? And let's go ahead and trace it to the other side. Okay, when I trace it to the other side, it is also an answer, 9, 8, it is also included. Okay, so it is also included and it is constant in between those values on the x-axis. So it is constant between 7 and 9. And just as a reminder, we are looking at the x values 7 and 9. Now, could we figure some of this out on the graph of where it's a bracket versus a parentheses? Well, check it out. Okay, we have a bracket at -1, and notice that there is an equal sign to -1. Okay, we have a parenthesis at 3, and notice there is a there's going to be a non-equal to. So these non-equals are parentheses, and these equals to's are going to produce brackets. It kind of helps us break things down. Okay, once again, we can keep working with it at 6. Look at that. At 6, we should have a parenthesis somewhere. Check it out. At 6, we should have a parenthesis because there's no equal to. And look at 7 and 9. We have at the end, we should have a bracket, and check it out. Down here, we have a bracket, and that's because we have those equals to. Now, those intervals don't always tell us the whole picture, but they do help us indicate where parentheses and brackets may be showing up. All right, hope that helps out with typing things into Desmos and looking at increasing, decreasing, and constant sections on a graph.